Hey everybody, it is Stephanie O'Brien Martin here with Moved by Purpose. So I've been reflecting a lot today after a pretty rough week last week of just being in my head and full of frustration, disappointment, and a big old pity party for myself. And then I realized, hi Matthew, the power of freedom and fulfillment. And just started focusing on the good that I have, the blessings that I have, and really just shifting my mind to expand to everything that I have available and accessible to me in my life versus what I was just really disappointed and frustrated with because I didn't have, or because it looked different than what I wanted. So how I broke out of it was really today, when still wrestling with those feelings of disappointment, confusion, overwhelm, wanting prayers to be answered, wanting things to be changed, wanting things to shift. Hi, Mark. And being so focused on what I wanted and didn't have. And then I was like, you know what? No. Today is going to be a good day. I'm going to make it a good day. It's going to be a good day because it is a good day, and I have the power to choose that for myself, regardless of what's happening. And you know what? That frustration, discouragement, that mental funk that I was in lifted, and I felt so empowered to move forward and to move past the disappointment and the frustration and move forward again and believing that the goals that I have, the things that I want, I actually can have. But to unattach myself, now the sun's shining weird, and unattach myself to specific expectations as to what that looks like, and to find joy in the journey. And I know all of this sounds so cliche. We hear it all the time. It's not the destination, it's the journey. But there is true. Like, freedom and fulfillment is found in the present moment and finding joy in the journey and not in outcomes. And if we could unattach ourselves from outcomes, which is if-then thinking or when-then thinking, if I had this, then I'd be happier. When I get this, then I'll feel fulfilled. And the power of freedom really is that we have the freedom to choose. We can create a life of joy and fulfillment by how we choose to look at our life. We can't control external things. We cannot control other people. We cannot control the weather. I mean, there's just so many things outside of us that we really have no power to control. But we have an incredible amount of power to control how we feel and how we think, the attitudes that we choose to have, our perspectives that we choose to have, and then therefore our actions that we choose to walk out. And so the victim mentality can be a sneaky little thing that creeps up from time to time. And that definitely creeped into my mind. And I really wallowed in self-pity and this victim mentality of poor me. Like, I do all of this stuff and nothing seems to work. And then it was just exhausting. And I finally just got so over it. It's like, I'm not doing this. This is so unproductive. So, and honestly, I just couldn't believe the shift. It was amazing when I was like, I am not participating in this anymore. I will not go on, blaming God and my circumstances and everything around me as to like why I won't move forward until this happens, like a spoiled child. And I was like, you know what, I believe that what I want is really aligned with the heart of God, but the outcomes that I attach myself to how that would look like clearly is different. And so I'm going to just detach from that and still trust that the bigger picture in the long run is still going to unfold. It's just like the immediate wants and needs, and what you need to let go of, and the sacrifices and the things that you go through until that end game is reached, isn't always sunshine and roses. It's not always fun and games. It's not, when you hear people say pursue your passion and live a purposeful life, what I think a lot of is left out, which I'm wanting to be real transparent, is that pursuing your passion and living a purposeful life is not a guarantee that life is going to be epic and ecstatic all the time. There's going to be a lot of things and disappointments. You're going to pursue a lot of goals. You're going to take risks and you're going to fail. You're going to have to let go of things that are really hard to let go of. People will leave you to make room for new relationships, better relationships, more productive, healthy relationships. Or honestly, maybe because you've matured, you actually get put in front of a lot of difficult people so that you can be a bright model and positive light to them, to show them how to behave in this world and be better people. Sometimes we do have difficult people in our life that are meant to be in our life because we can be a positive example to them. And then, sometimes relationships we love, we just outgrow and need to be put in front of other relationships that help us to grow and expand and mature so that we can go to the places God has called us to go to and be shaped into the person He wants us to be. Living a purposeful, fulfilled life that is free does not mean it is without pain. And that's just the reality. And it's painful to our egos. That's it. It's painful to our egos. It's painful to our mind, will, and emotions. And eventually we get over it. We do. As you get used to not getting your way all the time, you get used to it and accept it, because you also see the gift and the greater good that is at work in what's being unfolded and what's in process. So thanks for listening to my, I always post on Wednesday. Let's call this Wisdom Wednesdays. Thanks for listening to that to me, and I wish you guys all the best on your endeavors, on your pursuits, on living a purposeful, fulfilled life of freedom. And just know that it's okay if it's not always sunshine and roses. All right, take care, guys. Bye.